come, come, whoever you are, come, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are. Just come, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are.
Shuva, 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 yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, shuva, 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 yet again
Whoever you are, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, whoever you are, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, just come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Shuva, shuva, shuva. Shuva, yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again come. Whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come.
Yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva,
Whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come. Whoever you are,
Shuva, Shuva, yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again
Whoever you are, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, whoever you are, come, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are. Just come, whoever you are. Come, whoever you are.
Shuva, 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 yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, Shuva, Shuva.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's nice to see you from home. It's nice to see you from in here. This month of Elul has us looking inside, and part of the Kavanah, part of the intention every morning is to read Psalm 27, and we're going to sing a little bit of it. But I had a teacher this week ask the question based on this song, one thing I ask of you. If I could ask one thing, if you could ask one thing, just one thing, what's the one thing you would ask of God? And I realized that when this teacher posed that question, I felt all this weight because Judaism is such a religion of obligation. It's like, what do we need to do? What are all the things, the responsibilities that I need to fill? And I felt so humbled being asked, what do I want? What would I ask for? So as we sing this, maybe just go into that place in your heart where you're just face to face with the divine. And you get to ask for that one thing, the deepest, deepest thing that you desire of this life, of this world, of this God.
Achat sha'alti me Adonai, achat sha'alti ota vakesh.
Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, achat sha'alti ota vakesh. Shivti, shivti, be'et Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Shivti, shivti, be'et Adonai. Shivti, shivti, ota yemei chayai. לחזות בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בחיך. לחזות בנועם אדוני, to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life.
We continue now on pages 2 and 3 as we kindle the Sabbath lights and welcome Shabbat. We recall the words of Martin Buber, help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'hadlikneh, le'hadlikneh,
pages 20 and 21, we welcome the Sabbath bride singing Lecha Dodi.
Lecha
Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. La 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 la. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el am echad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem lo tiferet v'liti la 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 la. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi makor habaracha, mirosh mikadem v'nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'makshavat chila la 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 la. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumiori, uri, shir dabiri, kivod Adonai alayich nigla la 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 la. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Oy v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha uv'tzarola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. La 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 la. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah. Lecha Dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat lekabbalah.
Page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
Please join me on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimoch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ahava, 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 Ahava. This is Ahavat Olam, but we're starting with a meditation on the word Ahava for 3 reasons. The first reason is Ahava means love. It's a great word to meditate on. The second reason is that when you sing Ahava in the bottom of your register, it resonates your heart. It resonates all this. So will you try Ahava, Ahava, rich Ahava, Ahava. And the third reason is that when we sing together, whether we're masked or unmasked, we're vibrating collectively the building blocks of all creation. New physics teaches us that the smallest particles of creation are merely vibrations. So when you're singing with us, you're touching the source. Ahava, Ahava, harmony, Ahava. More harmony, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Amcha Havta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Amcha Havta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta. Ahava, please join. And if you know the next part, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Amcha Havta. Al Ken Adonai Eloheinu, B'shofbenu v'kumenu, Na'asiyah b'chukecha, V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, U'v'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Ahava, 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 Ahava. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. join together in the Shema. And this is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say all that again. This is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Everything is God, everything is one. Baruch Shem Kemo, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Harmony is good. Yalla la la la, yalla la la, yalla la la la. This may be the most important part. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la. This is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say.
Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzarecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shitecha b'veitecha, u'belechtecha b'derech, u'b'shochbecha u'b'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם emet. A reading not in your prayer book by Rabbi Norman Hirsch. Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. On page 40, we join in Mi Chamocha, our song of freedom and redemption, of becoming.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora
page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day,
One day,
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim.
More than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. On page 44, please join us in singing V'shamru.
V'shamru
b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 46.
Sunlight on my face, dirt upon my skin, water's sweet embrace, and the healing wind. Open up my lips, that I may declare your resplendentness, glory everywhere. Adonai, Sifatai Tifta, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tifta, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tifta, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha.
Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Geburot, Umido Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman Atah Lahachayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMetim. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yehalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Please pray with me in English at the bottom of page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Karov
prayer of gratitude not in your Sidurim by Mary Oliver. My work is loving the world. Here the sunflowers, there the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. Here the quickening yeast, there the blue plums. Here the clam deep in the speckled sand. Are my boots old? Is my coat torn? Am I no longer young and still not half perfect? Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished. The phoebe, the delphinium, the sheep in the pasture, and the pasture, which is mostly rejoicing, since all ingredients are here, which is gratitude, to be given a mind and a heart, and these body clothes, a mouth with which to give shouts of joy, to the moth and the wren, to the sleepy dug-up clam, telling them all over and over how it is that we live forever. A prayer for peace, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שלום, שלום, שלום. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
As we've prayed for peace and wholeness for the world, we think now of all of those people in our lives who are broken in mind, body, or spirit, offering them our blessings of renewal, of wholeness, and of peace. This will be a call and response healing prayer, and we call to mind these from our congregational families as we pray for their healing. Chris Argall, Betty Cohen, Gary Collier, Amy Cooper, Char DeGrave, Liz Daniel, Susan Dennison, Elizabeth Draper, Harvey and Susan Filer, Andrew Fisher, Dean Gavney, Jacob Gluckman, Roger Gluckman, Michael Grunstein, Stuart Goodman, Ramesh Gupta, Bert Horwitz, Laurel and Molly Jonas, Karen Katz, Dick Kelvin, Jean Nofel, Chris Kuntz, Allison Miller, Jim Rudisil, Deborah Sanders, Julie Sherman, Shoshana Slatke, Matthew Treehub, and all of those lovingly listed in the chat for those of you at home who can see them. And are there additional names we'd like to mention here in the sanctuary? chorus is El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu, comes from beautiful, beautiful piece of Numbers, Moses' prayer for healing for his sister Miriam. Please, God, heal her, and we add, heal us, Rafana Lanu.
El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. That's it. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. Dear God of our ancestors,
Dear God of our ancestors,
help us renew our faith.
help us renew our faith.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Bring peace to all our days.
Bring peace to all our days.
El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. Restore our strength of body.
Restore our strength of body.
Help clarify our mind.
Help clarify our mind.
Refresh our tired spirit.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Rejuvenate our lives.
Rejuvenate our light.
El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana. Thank you for all these blessings.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Throughout our days and nights,
Throughout our days and nights,
we celebrate the journey.
we celebrate the journey.
This precious gift of life.
This precious gift of
El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu. El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu.
In this moment of praying for healing, I offer this prayer for Afghanistan, composed by Rabbi Andy Corin of Greensboro. Eloheinu ve'Elohe avotenu v'imotenu. Our people have called out to you in times of need. You have been our source of protection throughout the generations. We ask, O God, that you extend your shelter over the people of Afghanistan. The withdrawal of U.S. forces and the takeover of the country have created significant urgent concerns and grave dangers for the well-being of vulnerable groups, including, among others, women, LGBTQ plus individuals, members of religious minorities, Afghan government officials and diplomats in the U.S.-backed government, human rights activists, journalists, staff of civil society organizations, and those translators and others who worked in partnership with the United States and allied armed forces. Hear their prayers, answer them, and protect them. Remind us that we cannot turn a blind eye to their suffering. May our hearts resonate when they call out. May our borders be open to welcome those who seek refuge. And may we forever be grateful to those who served our country for years in that faraway land. We hear their anguish and will never forget their toil and sacrifice. May the day not be distant when the vision of Isaiah is fulfilled that nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. Teach us to follow you, O God. You are the peacemaker. We bless you now and always, and let us say,
Amen.
Amen. We share a few moments now in silence.
Yehiyu leratzon imre fi. Yehiyu leratzon imre fi. Vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tsuri vegoali.
Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
Ose shalom bimroma. Uyahase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, amen.
At a recent board retreat, our president, Gaia Goldman, was saying that one of the things that is remarkable about this congregation is how many times people are asked and they say yes. We're a yes congregation. Isaac Rockoff is a yes, 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 and yes, yes, and yes 3 more times. Not only is he starting a brand new school year, not only is he training in the ensemble to prepare for our High Holy Days, not only is he reading Torah, not only did he call a bunch of you and invite you for honors and then have to tell you you couldn't do them, but he also is giving tonight's Dvar Torah because he said yes, and I am grateful. So it's an honor to share the pulpit with him this evening.
So, Yeah, when Rabbi asked if I was interested in giving a Devar Torah, she mentioned a couple of dates, and I asked for this one, since it would be the end of the first week of school. And I figured with it being the Friday night before Slichot that most of the high holiday preparation would be done. And I'd be able to focus on the portion without having a lot of other things going on. That was mid-July. We're now here, on the brink of high holidays. And while school has completed its first week of in-person learning, I can safely say that it has not been anything like I thought it would be when I said yes. And that's perfect for tonight's portion. You see, Kitavo begins, V'haya kitavo el haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala v'rishta v'yashabata ba. Literally, when you enter the land that Adonai has given you for an inheritance and possess it and dwell therein. And we are about to do just that. The high holidays, arguably the foremost part of our inheritance that we get to possess and dwell within, begin tomorrow night with Slichot. I know that Rosh Hashanah doesn't begin until the evening of the 6th, some 10 days from now. But I always feel like we're starting the work on Slichot, an evening whose name comes from the same word as slicha, sorry, or I beg your pardon. The Parsha continues with instructions to bring the first fruits of your harvest, a 10th part, to the Levites to be offered as a worship to God. Think about that for a moment. Bringing the best you have when you enter the land that God has promised to you. And not just that you should bring your best, but that your offering will be used to help not just the Levites and priests, but also the stranger, the orphan, and the widow, that they may eat and be satisfied. Bring your best to help out your community, including the people who may not necessarily belong to your particular group, but who are with you nonetheless. There's a scholarly idea that Deuteronomy is meant to be a text to help the Jewish people straighten up their act and get back to doing things the way God intended. You have a reiteration of the commandments and several of Moses' largest and most profound speeches regarding the behavior of the Jewish people. It would make sense, therefore, to frame every part of this portion, and indeed the rest of the book, within the lens of making sure the instructions are clear and the consequences and the rewards are all spelled out. So it begins when Moses instructs that the people of Israel, after they cross the Jordan River, shall assemble on 2 mountains at the northern and southern ends of the valley. The tribes of Shimon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin, they're going to stand on Mount Gerizim on the southern end, where the blessing for the people is to be spoken. And the tribes of Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali shall stand on Mount Ebal at the northern end for the curse portion. I found this interesting because when the Israeli kingdom will later be sacked and the nation dispersed, the northern tribes are the ones who are dispersed first. The tribes on that northern mountain that are lost, while the southern tribes remain intact. So then, after this, Moses lays out the rules that will be recited. There are a lot of them. And they're almost all don't do this rules. So I'm not going to enumerate all of them. Trust me, there's a lot. The priest is supposed to say them in a loud voice, and the people are to say amen after every one. And then come the blessings. Follow these commandments, and Adonai will raise you up, make you fruitful, and lavish abundance on you, your crops, herds, lands. Adonai will rout your enemies, making you the head, not the tail. But after the blessings, there's this extra bit of warning. Don't follow the commandments, and Adonai will see everything that you have crumble away to nothing. Your children will be enslaved. Your herds and fields will be barren, and life as you know it will cease holding any joy at all. It's harsh language, to be sure, and therefore why I think the Parsha uses it. Remember, according to the scholars, at the time of the introduction of Devarim, Jews in Israel weren't following the commandments very well. They were worshiping idols. They were using unsavory business practices. They were not treating the world like the gift that it is. So imagine reading about all of these things that you are not supposed to be doing. And then a listing of all of the good things that will happen if you stop. And just in case you missed the point, that you're not supposed to do this stuff, there's a list of consequences that will come to pass if you don't stop. Given that message, it would be a shock to the system, a clarion call to action, like a shofar. It's an intervention because you've reached rock bottom. But here's the important part. It's not that you're doomed. You simply must start changing. Here's the path by which we can climb out. Which brings me back around to why I like to start my high holidays on Slichot. The days of awe are about taking stock of what your past year has been. Joyful? Painful? Did you bring more light into the world around you? Or just spread the darkness a little thicker? And the truest, most honest thing you can do is apologize for falling short. We all do it. It's part of the human condition. And just like we're not expected to finish the job and reach perfection, we also can't stop striving to reach it. And that starts with sorry. If you spot the hole in the roof, then you can start patching it. Standing underneath the hole as the rain comes in and willfully ignoring the increasing dampness isn't going to fix the issue. You must acknowledge that you have work to do, and then you have to start that work. Ki tavo, when you enter, bring your best offerings. So when you enter, the work can begin. Shabbat Shalom.
That was more than a commercial for Slichot, but we'll take it as a commercial for Slichot, too. Tomorrow evening, 9 p.m., streaming. Please rise as we continue and conclude our service with Aleinu on page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמן מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Our thoughts turn now to all of those who have departed, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives are a blessing to humanity. We mention by name Suzanne Letterman Lowenstein, mother of Linda Gergel and mother-in-law of Randy Gergel, and Selma Blattman, aunt of Lanny and Linda Altschuler, who died in recent days. And we recall the yahrzeits of Amy Erdy, Alan Friedman, Judith Gould, Jeanette Greenberg, Leah Carpin, Mela Literal, Joan Miller, and Jack Weissman. Are there additional names to add in memory?
Frida Frank.
We also acknowledge all those mentioned in the chat. If you're here in the morning and you'd like to rise so that we might acknowledge you, I invite you to do so. And I invite the congregation to turn with you on page 294, standing beside you in support as we all join together in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalnei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudashah brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you, this time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you. Comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. With a request of you to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. And that is why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Marty Stickle, and I'm representing the Board of Trustees for tonight, and sending greetings to everybody who's here and everybody who's at home. The Rabbi, Sarah, Kim, and Billy, thank you all very much for a wonderful service. And thank you, Kevin, back there in the catacombs, head of our stream team, for handling tonight's production. And speaking of stream team, Kevin is looking for a few dedicated volunteers to help with production of our stream services. So please see your email for details. And I have a few announcements, not many. Thank you to all the members who registered in person for the high holiday services. Buffy is working on sorting all the lists and requests, and will be in touch with everyone by email on September 1st, advising which services you will be attending and any instructions that you need. For those of you who will be streaming high holidays from the comfort of your couch, please also consider buying the holiday prayer books to follow along. There's a link in the email with high holiday info and a 20% off coupon. Please be reminded that our streaming of high holiday services will be through unique links for CBHT members only this year, so please make sure your fair share is in place to receive this information. This Thursday is the last chance to join the Elevating Elul services with Billy Jonas on Zoom. It's a lovely way to ease into the high holiday season. The link is in your weekly email. Next Friday night is Family Shabbat at 6:30 with Rabbi and Seth, and we plan to be outside in the amphitheater if weather permits. Hope to see you there, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I also want to say a very warm thank you to Billy, many of the compositions this evening are Billy's originals, and it was so nice to have you back and to hear your music in our sanctuary. So thank you for being here and doing you. It's been too long. And we're going to end the way we started. And I invite you to rise. You get one more chance to think about what that one thing is that you're asking. And then remember to come tomorrow night and dive into the good work. Please feel free to join.
We'll get there.
So close.
We'll call that good. One thing I ask. This is by Chava Morel. You can look her up. Oh, she's just amazing. Words are by psalmists, yeah. She wrote the music. Achat sha'alti me'ed Adonai, achat sha'alti otah v'keh, achat sha'alti me'ed Adonai, achat sha'alti otah
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody at home.
Shabbat Shalom.
We love and miss you. We'll see you at the holidays.